for my movie, I chose King Kong, filmed in 1967. It is about Fred Wilson, who is the owner of a oil company in search for a long lost island that has never been found. Jack Prescott hears about the ship going off to look for the island, so he sneaks aboard. While looking for the island, they come across a shipwreck, and the only known survivor from the shipwreck is a blonde, beautiful woman named Dewan. Once they have found Dewan, she ends up being alive, and they bring her with them on the voyage to look for the island. Once they have found the island, it is completely covered in fog and undetectable, which is the reason they have not been able to find it in the past. When they board the island and they're in search of everything on it, or in search of the great oil, they notice one thing, and that everything on the island is colossal. Everything is large. Everything is all the trees, all the animals. They fight off a couple of bigger animals. But the one main thing they find is natives who end up being cannibals. And they notice one interesting thing about the natives is that they feed one of their women every day to King Kong, which is a colossal ape that roams around the island. And they do this to show their gratitude towards the ape. And whenever the natives see Jack Prescott and Fred Wilson, they notice Dewan, who is with them, who looks very much better than any of their women that they have. So they want her to give her to Kong to show their appreciation. But Jack Prescott and Fred Wilson do not let them take her, and it creates a big conflict, and they decide just to part their ways. The natives end up capturing Dewan and stealing her from Jack Prescott. And by the time Fred Wilson and Jack Prescott realize that she is gone and the natives have taken her, it is already too late, because the natives have given her to Kong. But Kong decides not to eat Dewan, and he decides to keep her because she is the most beautiful thing he has seen, and he wants to marry her and be with her forever. But by the time that Jack Prescott and Fred Wilson realize that Kong has taken Dewan, they decide to go looking for her. While looking for her, they run into a giant anaconda that Kong ends up killing because it was also after Dewan. This shows Dewan that Kong is trying to protect her and keep her safe. But while Kong is asleep, Jack Prescott captures Dewan and brings her back to safety. While Jack Prescott is gone looking for Dewan, the captain, Fred Wilson, decides he wants to capture Kong and bring him back to New York. And while Kong is looking for Dewan and Jack Prescott, they capture Kong in a trap and aboard him on the ship to head back to New York. Once they have gotten him back to New York, they put him inside a giant steel cage, and they put him out in the middle of New York City for the whole world to see. And when King Kong finally sees Dewan, he breaks loose through the cage and starts terrorizing through New York City in search of Dewan so he can find her and to be with her. While Kong is in search of Dewan, Dewan realizes that Kong really is caring about her, and he does want to be with her, and he truly does love her. But by the time Dewan realizes this, King Kong is already at the top of the Empire State Building, getting shot at by the military and getting hurt second by second. But before Dewan can get to King Kong, Kong is shot down by helicopters from the Air Force, and he is then died in front of everybody in New York City. Dewan feels devastated, and she can't stand how she didn't realize how much he truly cared. But once she does realize it, it was a great learning stone and a great point for her in the movie. And personally, I believe when people say to never judge a book by its cover, You can never judge someone by their looks or their actions until you truly get to know them for who they are. And by her saying, and Dewan says, he risked his life to save me, that just shows everyone and shows her that he truly did care and that he meant much more than other people thought or that the natives back on the island thought. And I truly am able to reflect off this movie and connect with it because I feel as if people judge me or look at me a certain way because they don't know how I truly feel or by what my intentions are towards them or towards anybody else. And I highly recommend this movie to anyone who is having trouble judging or looking at someone in a certain way or an individual in this society or in this world.